How did you got to the NWA? Who was the person, the person that contacted you initially?
Um, I think actually I contacted them. I sent in a highlight of myself and my current tag partner, Jarrell. We had just had a highlight drop, so I sent it over to them, and then they actually got back to us because they were doing a tag tournament, the Crockett Cup. And they were interested in us, and then they ended up pairing me up with Tom Latimer. So that's how I ended up with a different tag team in NWA, which was a little strange, but I think Tom and I, tried our hardest and made the best of it that we could. And I don't know, the NWA run was definitely, that's like a historic company that has a lot of you know, a lot of history, and it's kind of legendary and stuff. So it was really cool to work there.
I'll translate that. ¿Cómo llega Royce Isaacs a la NWA? Bueno, él envía un highlight video a ellos, un video package a la NWA porque estaban buscando personas para el Crockett Cups, equipos específicamente, y él envía pues su compañero y él, pero entonces la empresa le gustó él y lo terminan pareando con Tom Latimer, que en su momento dado fue Bram en TNA. Y ahí sí es como que comienzan a parearse juntos, y la realidad es que ellos trataron de hacer lo mejor de esta oportunidad. What do you recall from your first match with NWA? Going through that curtain, technically not a curtain because we do not see it, we just see the set, but going from backstage area to the ring area, and in that crowd, man, that I believe it is in Atlanta, they were always on fire. So how was your experience in your first match?
The NWA crowd was always really, really good. That was one of the best parts of wrestling. There was that they were always so invested, whether you were a good guy or a bad guy. Like, they cared a lot, and they were really there to just go crazy and be loud and make their voices felt. Definitely one of the best crowds I've worked for, and I have nothing but good things to say there. I want to say our first match was a pretty emphatic win, and me and Tom didn't get as many of those as I would have liked. So it was nice. The crowd was crazy. They were rabid. They were ready for some good action, and I think me and Tom gave it to them.
I'll translate that. Obviamente habla muy bien del público de NWA, el público siempre estaba encendido. Quienes tuvieron la oportunidad de ver en NWA Power saben que se grababan unos estudios en Atlanta y el público siempre estaba como que aplaudiendo y estaban de esta manera y estaban bastante metidos en la cartelera. Pues obviamente le gustaba ese ambiente. No fue lo que él esperaba en cuanto a, pues obviamente le hubiese gustado tener un poco más de protagonismo junto a Tom, pero ellos fueron a hacer un trabajo aquella noche. Fast forward a little bit in time, which is pretty interesting detail. You won the tag team titles with along with Tom Latimer. What was the first thing that went through your mind once you got the gold and got to see it, like, holy shit, I made it?
Oh man, it was a pretty surreal experience. Those tag titles have a lot of like legendary names that have held them, and it was definitely really, it felt validating to kind of get that experience, to be like, oh wow, the power's in my hands now, and I've done something really cool. But overall, it's one of those things. Immediately you look for the next mountain to climb. You go, okay, that was really good, but what's the next goal, the next big thing I can tackle? You can never be content for too long, especially as a competitor, if you're really serious about your craft. So it was an amazing moment, and it's something I'll never forget. But the winner mentality was, okay, what's the next big thing that I can do after?
Of course, I'll translate that. Ok, él gana los campeonatos mundiales en pareja de la NWA, un título de mucho linaje y de prestigio, como él menciona, junto a Tom Latimer, pero inmediatamente la cosa que viene a la mente es, ¿qué es lo próximo? What's next? Que obviamente la mentalidad de competidor, de ganador, de que quiero constantemente retarme y ir al próximo paso y no conformarse. Y me parece muy interesante que ni siquiera se sentó un momento a disfrutarlo, simplemente como que, ok, ¿qué es lo próximo? ¿Qué es lo próximo? Constantemente buscando concretar la meta. Why did you left the NWA? I mean, you and the company parted ways in a complicated situation. So who took the decision?
Honestly, I asked for my release. There were a lot of factors that went into my decision there. It's a little, I don't generally air dirty laundry like that. So I kind of just keep that stuff for the most part to myself.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I really appreciate that they gave me a platform and that they, gave me a lot of attention that I was able to, I was able to utilize. It obviously helped my career, and having the world tag title run was great. So, I don't, it just was a personal decision. It took a second for me to actually be granted my release, but these things happen when, there's money on the line and contracts, and they're trying to do what's best for their company, and I'm trying to do what's best for my career. But I guess overall, to give you an answer, I thought it was just the best move for me, that having my freedom and being able to go out and do other things was going to be more advantageous. And I think so far, with some of the places that I've popped up and some of the places that I will be popping up, I think it's paid off so far.
Perfect, I'll translate that. Él no le gusta como que arrojar, como él dice, el dirty laundry, los paños, los trapos sucios. Simplemente él tomó la decisión, entendía que era lo mejor para su carrera, y él entendía que pues era el momento dado de crecer fuera de la NWA, y hasta ahora las oportunidades que él ha tenido y los lugares que estará produciendo próximamente simplemente han valido la pena. Speaking of which, the places you've been recently, Bloodsport, man, I mean, that was unexpected because we always saw guys like Josh Barnett, for example, but suddenly John Moxley, Royce Isaacs, among many other people, decided to show up into that scene. So how was your experience working in more combat sports oriented pro wrestling style?
For me, it was really cool. It was almost like a return home. I wrestled in college. I wrestled in high school and college. So to get back in touch with those skills and abilities, I think that I've always had a little bit of that style in my pro wrestling, but it was nice to really enhance that and go for it. I've gotten to train a little bit with Josh, and that's been really beneficial. I feel like both just for like the actual crazy like workout of it, but to learn from a legend in that style is has been really eye-opening and great. And yeah, this is one of the best chapters of my career, being able to perform at a place like Bloodsport with other top athletes and make my presence felt. It's been a dream come true.
I'll translate that. Josh Barnett tiene el concepto que se llama Bloodsport. Este año lo presentó, y una de las personas que apareció, que muchas personas no lo esperaban, fue Royce Isaacs. Royce Isaacs menciona que él fue luchador, obviamente colegial y en high school, y volvió a sus raíces iniciales y conectó con quien él era en un principio. Entonces tener una persona como Josh Barnett y maestros pues en ese tipo de arte marcial mixta, más bien que lucha libre, pues simplemente fue una experiencia, como él dice, eye-opening, que le ayudó a crecer en su carrera. And, of the places you've been recently, and we just spoke about it in earlier of the interview, is AEW. So Royce Isaacs suddenly is there. Who contacted you, to be a part of it? Did you contacted them? How did this happen? Because, man, we are really happy for you. We want to see more of you, at least on my side, on the singles competitor area, because I believe you can be a better fit. But how did you got to AEW initially?
Yeah, so there was an email of someone in the company that I had gotten a hold of, and similar to what I did with the NWA, and similar earlier in my career, I did some work in Japan for DDT, where I had originally reached out to them. I feel like it's I've always been proactive about my career and reaching out to people, and sending resumes, sending highlights, sending matches, all that stuff, showing hey, this is what I can do, and I'd like to work for you. So same kind of situation here. And AEW was an amazing experience. We've had 3 matches that have come out now, and the 4th one is coming out tomorrow for AEW Dark. And I think we only have gotten better and better. I really enjoy tagging with Jarrell, and I really love doing the West Coast Wrecking Crew. I think we have a lot to offer, any company in pro wrestling, honestly, but it's been really cool to test our wares at the elite level of all elite wrestling, because they have some gnarly tag teams.
I'll translate that to Spanish. Ok, Royce Isaacs llega a la Elite Wrestling. Él siempre dice que se ha mantenido proactivo en su carrera y él es quien hace el acercamiento a AEW, al igual que lo hizo con NWA, al igual que lo hizo con DDT en Japón. Y entonces, pues, tiene la oportunidad de luchar varios combates en AEW Dark, en AEW Dark Elevation, junto con su compañero y mostrar un poco más de su talento en equipo, junto con, obviamente, los equipos Elite, como él menciona, de AEW. Is it your decision to be a tag team wrestler? Because what I saw on Bloodsport, man, you're a terrific singles competitor. Like, have you ever considered, going solo for once in your career?
Well, thank you. I was mostly solo at the start of my career, and then I was on and off solo over the last few years, I would say. I do enjoy singles competition, and I'll never rule out like fully return to that. But I like that right now I can do stuff like Bloodsport and do the singles competition and the Bloodsport style that's a little bit different. And I really enjoy Jarrell and I's tag dynamic. That's my best friend in real life. I think that we have something really special there, and I think that we had a lot of momentum before I got signed to NWA. I thought we were headed for something special there, and it's been really nice to, pick that up where we were at before and continue with that. But if people are interested in seeing me as a singles, I have plenty of work on Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. I did solo. They can obviously check me out. I did some matches for NWA solo. I did some DDT stuff solo. So there's plenty of Royce Isaacs singles footage out there, and I'm sure there's a few matches that are special to me that I would do. Even if I was only doing tag stuff, I would still wrestle like Speedball Mike Bailey. I have a lot of respect for it. I want to wrestle him in a singles match. So there's a few like special matches that I might do solo, but for the most part, I am focusing on tag team other than Bloodsport.
Perfect, I'll translate that to Spanish. Royce Isaac le pregunto si le interesaría ir a través de un rol de singles competitor, porque ha hecho un excelente trabajo en lugares como Bloodsport, en lugares como DDT, en lugares como Championship Wrestling Hollywood, que era David Marquez, en la misma NWA tiene luchas singles, y él dice que está más enfocado al lado de ser equipo con su mejor amigo, que de hecho él fue la persona que inicialmente iba a hacer el equipo con él en NWA, y le gustó simplemente tener la oportunidad de, pues obviamente, recuperar el tiempo perdido, nuevamente hacer el equipo, y pues tener la oportunidad de exponer su talento como un tag team en AEW, como lo ha hecho hasta ahora.